Good morning.
In today's video, you're going to tour our almost garden.
Yes, you're going to get to find out what we've put in our garden so far, what we plan to put in our garden, what we're putting together, and some of the reasons why we're doing it. And we're going to answer a few questions that have been asked recently.
And you just might find out what hardiness approach is all about.
Keep watching.
Good morning. When we had our big homestead and we had animals in the morning, we could get up and go open our door and see our animals, and we don't have that right now. But we do have a garden, and we have sunshine and
Each other.
And it's so exciting to be able to get up and do stuff still. We have a garden here, and we're just praying over our garden, and we've had some questions about some of the things in our garden.
Yeah, on the subject of praying over our garden, yesterday I was planting carrots. And
all day.
For those of you who have planted carrots, unless you have some kind of a very automated system, it's a painstaking job because those carrot seeds are very tiny and you want to get enough of them there. You don't want to get too many there, and the soil needs to be right, and it takes time. For the little bit that seems that you're accomplishing, it takes a lot of time. One of the thoughts that I had over and over is that I'm putting these little seeds into this soil, and are they really going to germinate? Are they going to grow? Are they going to make it? Are they not going to have problems with the soil? Are they not going to have problems with the weather? Are we really going to get carrots out of this? And it takes a lot of faith to do it. I think planting gardens and trying to grow things like that is a huge test of faith, because
it's a total example of faith.
You go to all of this trouble, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. And wow, it makes you very much think about that. It did for me. But it makes the joy when they do grow so much better, because it's like, wow, it worked.
I believe that we can only do what we can do, and then we have to turn it over to our Heavenly Father, and He has to do the rest, because we can't do that part. He's the one that helps those little seeds grow. He did I was at work yesterday, and he texted me and he goes, okay, I've done half of it. I'm going to go to lunch now. Wow, this is tedious. And then he went back and did the rest. It made me realize that in our future is a seed planter, because think of the time saving, just like the BCS was.
Well, when you're doing small amounts, it doesn't really substantiate spending that kind of money. But when you do a lot, having something you just pour the seeds in, you set it the way it should be, and down you go and it's done. Wow. I can see the advantage.
We had some questions yesterday. Thank you, Dolly. And we're going to answer
she's not the only one that asked questions, but that was pretty much to the point, wasn't it? Yeah.
Says, number one, you put multiple holes in the weed fabric. What are you planting together? And so, one thing that we're
not... We're planting everything together. Which plants are going with what?
So okay. I'm going to answer, let's see. How did we prepare the soil, and why did we not mulch the potatoes? So, let's answer those questions.
Okay, why did we not mulch the potatoes? We didn't have mulch. We could get straw. We don't want to use straw because we are fairly sure that whatever straw we would use is going to have had some type of spray on it, which is what
she says.
Which is what we're trying to avoid.
And so I'm going to search and see.
What I have come up with is I have searched for organic mulch. Organic meaning you're not going to have unexpected items in the mulch.
Keep talking.
Is that a good compost, one that is clean and is fine and all of that? That's probably the ideal, because not only does it protect the soil underneath from the evaporation and hold everything in, but as it breaks down, then it adds to the nutrients that are there and improves the soil, so it does double. So that's what we're going to do, is get some of the good compost that we had sifted a bit so that we don't have the big hunks of stuff in there, and then we'll be able to use that as compost. That's our plan for the potatoes.
Also, I was reading in Elliot Coleman's book, and he said as soon as you see the first leaf come up, then you pile 6 to 8 inches more of the compost dirt and stuff like that around up into the hills. So
that's our plan with the potatoes.
So let's go over and look at them. So our potatoes are in here. You watched us put them in the other day. And we know where the mounds are. Here, hold that for a minute. You see this little mound right there, and this little mound right here, and this little mound right here. And so they're little mounds. This is a little mound, this is a little mound.
And we'll know even better where they are when they start sticking their leaves out of the soil.
That's right. Walk with us and we'll show you our carrots. Well, we'll show you the faith of our carrots. So he planted them this way, and you can see little ridges on them. This is where the sprinkler will come up. And
so why did he plant them across? It was your idea.
It was.
So you need to explain it.
We actually seen it done both ways, and it was easier to plant than to go down, 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 right?
I felt that it was. Yes, I believe it took less time. It was, I don't know that it was less work, but it was less movement to get it done.
Also, if you're doing the drippers, you want the rows to run along your drippers. Well, this one is sprinkled, and so it's just easier for us to do it this way.
Yeah, so
that's one of the main reasons why.
That's our logic.
So this first bed is potatoes and carrots. Potatoes and carrots are probably our staple for eating, right?
Well, I think of the vegetables that we purchase when we can't grow them, those are the two that we purchase the most of.
Yeah. So bed number 2. So bed number 2, from this stick all the way down, is jade bush beans. We had incredible luck with our jade bush beans in Missouri, and so we've chosen not to do any pole beans. That's not completely true. There are a few that we were given. So, and so that's all bush beans, because beans, green beans, are our other favorite that we love. And then, so what's in here, Jim? Right in here between that stick and this stick, there's nothing. And what's going to be there, if I remember correctly, are beets. Correct?
That sounds right.
I think so. Beets are going in there.
We have a plan, and it's written down.
These, from this stick all the way up, are onion bulbs. So, oh, and also in this little area there will be garlic planted also. I think that's garlic, going to be garlic, but we really aren't planting the garlic until the late summer, so that it can grow through the winter. If you have had luck planting it in the summer, Elliot Coleman says don't plant it until the fall, but if you've had luck planting it now and keeping it through the winter, let us know, because hey, we'll just put it in the ground because we have it. Right, Jim?
But the plan is to get it in the ground at some point, and it's going to overwinter, so it'll be next early summer when we're harvesting it.
Right. So this bed number 3, up here you see some herbs and peppers. We had little tiny jalapenos in here, and they actually didn't take. So we're going to get some more. Those
One
are
of us
all.
Thinks they still may take. We just need to be
He has
patient.
more faith than I do. And then we have. So those are all hot peppers. Then we have sweet peppers, and we need to get more sweet peppers. And then you saw us the other day when we planted our tomatoes. You want to answer the question about why we have a hoop?
Why do we have these hoops in here? Well, we ran out of the little metal staples to hold the cloth down, and so we used that as a means for holding it down.
And did it work?
No.
No.
Sort of it did. It helped, but needless to say, afternoon windstorm came up on Sunday and picked it up and created a bit of havoc. So we fabricated some little staple hold down things, and these hoops will come out and be replaced with hoops that actually hoop over the
Well, I think
bed.
he was super ingenious, and he took this, and anybody who doesn't know what we use here, we actually had a video about it. I'll put it on there in the card so you can see it. They are the top wire that you use. They're the top wire that you use in chain link fence, and so you buy them in the chain link fence area.
They come in large rolls,
in 100-foot rolls,
and they're not that expensive when you do
20
that.
bucks.
Yeah.
So let me just show you the rest of bed number 3. Bed number 3 is tomatoes. And this is true faith that these tiny little things will need this whole pole.
Should I talk about the poles?
You had already talked about the poles.
Good.
And then these are bush tomatoes. Those are eggplants. These are tomatillos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are broccoli. That's what we've got there. That's bed number 3. Bed number 4 is, I'm gonna have to go backwards so the sun doesn't get us. This entire area on the 2 outsides is corn. Going that way, halfway up, or over halfway up. In the center will be planted spinach. We have a spinach that's called an Egyptian spinach, which we got at Baker Creek from one of the people or homesteaders who used to have a YouTube channel, and I can't even help you know who it is because they don't have their name written on our paper. But apparently Egyptian spinach can grow during the summer and the heat, and so we're going to try that. Then we will also have, in between the corn will be Swiss chard and kale, and then as it gets cooler again we will do lettuce. These I believe are pole beans. Oh wow, we got a broccoli in here. We probably should take that and put it back on the other one.
I don't think you want to mess with it right now.
Okay. Anyway, pole beans, because they're going to grow, if they need something, they're just going to hang right onto the corn. And then this whole area here, which is not planted yet, will be leeks and parsnips. Leeks and parsnips. We love parsnips, and parsnips you overwinter, and leeks you overwinter. So we're putting them all in one bed so that we can cover them all together. And then Jim, these 2 beds he's taking care of today, and he'll be making a video on how we actually put together that drip system, right?
Yes.
And then we'll tell you more about those 2 later. We know that the last one is going to be squash and all the sprawling things. And then this one is also going to be corn and leftover whatever else we have. So in answer to your question, we put multiple holes in. On the tomatoes, we just did them like a scissor. And then on the others, we put...
Like a scissor?
Yeah, it goes here, 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 here.
Okay.
Yeah. And what we haven't done yet is companion plant, where we add in all the flowers and the beneficials that help. We haven't done that yet.
Right.
We're taking baby steps, so we're doing what we can. But I laid in bed this morning and I thought about this garden, and I realized that we're not just putting in a little postage stamp garden. We put in a significant garden.
It's a significant garden.
And that when we were in Burrell, Utah, which was our very first homestead, We put in a 3,000 square foot garden in a little orchard. We made the desert bloom.
Yes.
When we went to Oregon, we plowed up grass and made a very significant garden. It was at least this big, don't you think?
Yes.
It was 60 feet long, but it was more rows.
Yes.
And we made it grow. To Missouri, we never had the chance to put in the huge one. We just did the one in the fronts, and those were what we were able to use because we were too busy fixing the house.
Yeah.
So as soon as we got here, we put in our garden. What is the moral to that story?
We garden.
We garden. Plant. Plant where you are.
Because we want to eat good food.
That's what Hardiness Approach is all about. It's our approach to eating healthy.
Yes.
To being able to eat. We hope you have a glorious day. Go plant something, enjoy, sit in your garden. It'll be wonderful. Bye-bye.